Hey, welcome back to WOOK Plus. I am Weekend WOOK, joined once again by Kev the Great One. Kev, how's it going, man?
I'm tan, rested, and ready.
This was you know what? Listen, I liked this show and I was like having a fun time with it. Was it perfect? No. Was it like mind blowing or anything? No, but like I was enjoying myself and I go onto the interwebs as I do from time to time, expecting to see some pleasant discourse, nothing controversial, nothing really upsetting. And then I see you and Ryan talking about what a shit show it is. And I'm like, come
I didn't
on.
say that. He said, "Why didn't you choose one of the other nights?" And I was like, "Because the jam band gods do it randomly. We don't have any say in what show
We
we
have
get."
no say. I mean, I guess we could have a say, but we've chosen not to have a say.
Right?
But
Yeah,
there's
my,
some
my one
goodness in
sentence.
here.
Right, my one sentence recap would be I loved the first set, and the second set was uneven, but I would take 75, 80% of those songs any night. So it was a good show for me.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason. I agree. Smash that like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Yeah, listen, I think the first set had everything I would want in it. I would say maybe except for that infinite. We'll get to it, but
Infinite. It's infinite. What do you?
I know. Did you actually put the set list up here?
I did.
Oh yeah, look at that with squiggly
Uh,
lines and the one still left in
well, you know the squiggly
it.
line. They let you use the squiggly line on YouTube instead of putting. They won't let you put an arrow because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
think
no,
it's
I know.
code,
Nobody
but they'll
else
let you
cares,
use.
but I appreciate that. All right, let's get into it. We can talk. So party time I like as a set opener. It's kind of like the poor man's 3.0 buried alive, or like CTB. It has that feel. Um but I really kind of like that they did a little bit more with it, right? It could have just been a 3 minute party time and gotten out, but Paige gave it a little extra, Trey gave it a little extra, and I think it was a fun way to start the show.
I love it. I think T Hall is right. It was saucy. Is a great word for what it was, and
Saucy.
fantastic. I'll take that opener any day of the week. It does everything an opener should do. It's upbeat, gets everybody singing along. You don't have to think much about it. It's a simple little groove, and then by the time it's over, everyone's loose and ready.
Yeah, including the band. Um, I realized listening to the Punch that I haven't heard Punch in quite a while. I
Since
feel
New
like,
Year's.
yeah, well, okay. Touche, dude, touche. But no, another great, a great
I love
spot,
that.
great song, I worked really well.
Punch you in the eye and the two slot punch you in the eye really came into its own, I think, along with Carini over 3.0. It became more of a monster. I mean, I guess late 1.0, it started, it was always a crowd pleaser, but I feel like they found it and
I think
Carini.
rediscovered it. I think I had some bigger ones early on, and then kind of
Okay.
became standard and overdone, and then had a renaissance. A lot of songs towards the end of 3.0 had a renaissance, but I agree.
All
I
right.
love it.
Eric, we probably should have had a buried alive opener tonight because that seems to be our MO on this show.
Yeah, I take Buried Alive over Party Time anytime without even question. But I do think it fits that same taste, that same flavor as like CTB or
Mm,
Buried Alive. Obviously, I mean, it just has that upbeat opening sense to it.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And the Mike's groove, perfect. Huge in the middle of the set. Took up a nice chunk of real estate. They gave it time to breathe.
yeah, traditional, nice with the hydrogen in the middle of the groove. Um,
And out of Punch You in the Eye, Mike's song, it's such a great drop because the energy's high out of Punch You in the Eye. And then boom, you drop into Mike's song, which is the hit. It's such a crowd favorite. I listened to it on YouTube. You heard the crowd, audibly go up a notch.
Yeah, elevate. It's weird. I feel like the last year the mics have been so exceptional that there it did this one as good as it was kind of left me wanting, but I think that's more of my expectations or like a personal thing. Like I think it was a super well played and well executed groove, Um we've just been so spoiled, you know, as of late. But I got to agree with T. I know T always brings that up, like a traditional groove. I don't, it's easy to when you get a weird one to be like, oh, this is fun. Don't be so serious. But then when you go back to hearing like the traditional groove, you're like, yes, it makes sense that this is the hallmark. This is the traditional ones, you know.
Yep. Yep.
Whoa,
See, so at this point, I'm thinking about what our friend said over on Twitter. What are you talking about? This isn't a good show.
I think everything up to this point was serviceable or better. Nothing was out of place. Nothing was terrible. What is this? What is this? This is throwing me off. Summer tours just aren't that good. What do you? What exactly are you saying? Came to play? What do you mean? Like, there's been lots and lots of good summer tours. Lots of good summer
They
tours.
have their moments.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, 21's summer tour was pretty
Uh-huh.
damn good. 17, even though it was really a residency, but that was good. 15 summer tour was really good.
Right.
Yeah,
97
99,
summer tour,
97.
98.
Yeah, like they're all great summer tours. All right, so I think this
You're
may have
not.
been the birth of Mike Set Killers. I probably not, but it takes the cake for me. It is so much worse than Mull or 555 or any other set killer. This was the debut of it, and they started grooving, and I was like, all right, cool. Where's this gonna go? And then Mike steps up to the mic, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Seriously. And then it's like, imagine, I just try to imagine being Trey in that at that point, like in his mind, what he's thinking of, like, we're at this, we're at the Gorge, right? And we're on summer tour and everything's great. We just had the Bakers last year and we're playing, and then Mike comes on. It sounds like a high school audition, and that wouldn't make the freaking choir. Would get cut. I don't know, man. They played it like a month later and then it was dead. And I'm surprised they even gave it a second shot after this version. Abysmal, 2 thumbs down.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going
Okay,
to disagree with
good.
you because we've come to the, I think, uneasy agreement that Mike sometimes doesn't sing where he should in the right
Sure.
key. Now, that said, the lyric for this is good. I liked the groove of it, and I wish it had have been given a few more chances. I mean, hell, it mentions Ted Lasso.
Lyrics are interesting. Mike always has interesting lyrics, though, because he's a weird dude. So, his lyrics are always funky. Came to play. Listen, show up tomorrow. He has me. I don't know if it's triggered or intrigued, but I've just made a unilateral executive decision that tomorrow on Live, we are going to have a lengthy discussion of the seasons and the tours. And what, because I agree, I think some of these fall tours are better, but 16 wasn't better than 15 summer. 16 was all Petrichor.
Right?
You're inflating, my friend. 9 Eastern, 6
That
Pacific.
that's great because we're going to have a special guest from Sirius XM one tomorrow to talk
Who's
about this
that,
with us.
Kev?
You have to tune in tomorrow to find out.
It's the pretty one.
Yeah,
Ari. No.
it's the pretty one. It's
Oh, yeah, I
horrible.
see. You're saying better than that year's summer. Well, 16 summer was pretty shitty too. All right. Anyway, we have to focus. Came to play. We have a club here.
It's Ice was fantastic, and It's Ice paired with Divided Sky was icing on a set that I feel was really strong.
Yeah, dude. It's Ice was splendid. I enjoyed it, and I liked the little jam that they put on it and what they did with it. And it wasn't really like a flawless performance, but it didn't bother me. I just it was creative towards the end of it. Not like revolutionary, but had a little bit of creativity to it, and I dug it. And then yeah, I love this Divided Sky. I don't. That's one of those ones that every time they go into it, I'm just like, not like, bored or whatever, but like it's one that I've caught a lot of times and I've listened to a lot of times, and it's just like you take it for granted sometimes until you get into it, and then you're like, oh yeah, it's like one of the most beautiful riffs ever written by any guitar player ever of all time. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Is it
absolutely divine.
a Kill Your Idols thing with you that it was one of the first songs you were really into, so you're like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't. I may. I'm not 100% sure I'm recalling this 100% accurately, but it feels like it was very, very early on in my fandom, the one of the first songs that made the band feel different, right? Like really set, like their sound and their identity and everything. Because like people talk about the nerdiness and the quirkiness and shit, and like sure that's like unique, but a lot of bands in the '90s were doing unique, quirky shit. That wasn't like as being unique wasn't unique, but the tone and his composition, that's what truly made it
Mm,
like the same way when you hear Pink Floyd, they have like a very specific sound, right? It's not the words, it's not the quirkiness, it's like this, it's just the all-encompassing sound. That's what the Fish Divided Sky is. It's like the Fish sound.
mhm.
So yeah, you're right. I think I over listened to it early on, got sick of it, and now I'm like a more older, like, oh yeah, I remember why it's so incredible.
I feel like with It's Ice and Divided Sky and Punch and Mike's song that they found two really good combinations of songs you don't normally see back to back.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That'd be an interesting stat to see if It's Ice ever has gone in to Divided Sky like that. I like
Yeah.
this whole combination without the MSK in the middle. I think it would have been a really solid set. They,
The MSK. It took me a second to catch up with that.
I have to guise my mic hate because people are gonna get really sensitive about it.
Right.
Um, then there was
And
some
the
cool.
classic closer.
Although there was a tease because I feel like this the one where they had like cool synthy bass sound, like, and it sounded like they're gonna do something, but then Mike like pulled back and then they go into Cavern. But that's all right.
Right.
Cavern's a
Ed
fun way.
said they started out as llama drum wise.
Yeah,
So Trey was like, no. We're doing cavern.
yeah. Right. Um, all right. Separate. I want to talk more general things about this, the more general takeaways. I guess we should do some housekeeping first, though. Stick with tradition. Join us tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, for another WOOK Plus Live. We'll have a special guest. We'll be talking about a bunch, and it'll be a really fun show. Also, T posted. We just put up an exclusive interview with Taper's Choice, which was really good, and T and Llama interviewed the guys. So if you're into Taper's Choice, or even if you're not, and you're curious about them, it's a pretty good interview. So check that out. Like and subscribe. Okay, I want to know what you think about this. I want to throw a thought out to you and see if you agree or disagree. I think their move in 4.0 to finishing songs or finishing more songs was one of the best choices that they've made in the modern era. And I think at what this show really suffered from was not completing any thoughts, because it's not that the jams were bad and it's not that any of like even the song selection was horrible. It's just they would like get on something and then it kind of whimper off it, and it just felt very non-committal and there's no conclusion to anything. Were you getting that vibes listening to this show?
Yeah, I could feel that, and there's something to be said for having an endpoint. If you start Tweezer and you know you're going to go into the slow part to end it, you know you have somewhere to go. So it's a matter of figuring out how to get there. If you don't have an endpoint, then like you said, there's a 50-50 shot, maybe higher, of it just fizzling out because there isn't a focus or a point that you're moving towards.
Yeah. And I think the second set was really guilty of this. I mean, it was a little bit in the first set, but the first set I think held together much better. The second set, I felt like every single song
There were
they did,
moments.
there were
Right.
moments that was cool, and then they just like, it's like right off the bat with oh hey, we can pull it up. Right off the bat with Tweezer, it wasn't incredible, but there was some cool, interesting thoughts, through lines going on there, and then they were just like, I guess we're going into Golden Age.
Right. I like a 14-minute tweezer.
Is that what it came in at?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I listened to it and I felt like that they ended up at Golden Age as a cohesive thought. I don't feel like they wimped out on this one, but the rest of the set, yes, I hear that.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know that it was cohesive to the conclusion, but it wasn't like a nice segue. It was like a cohesive to a like not a whimper. I don't want to do that's like a derogatory. It's like to
Right.
a lull, to like a low point. Like right, they brought it down very nicely, and then they went into golden age. But I don't know.
Nowadays, probably what they would have done is gone into another 10-minute jam segment out when they hit that law.
Yeah, or hit golden age. They
Or
would have
hit gold.
they would have been like ready and then all been on it, and they would have
Right.
had it like
Not
queued up,
noodled for a sec, right?
not noodled, and then Trey kind of brings it in, and the band's we're being hypercritical. I think the golden age was tied for the highlight of the second set, maybe of the show as far as jam wise goes. Because there's some really it was it felt like the precursor to bleeps and bloops. We're getting some interesting synth sounds going on in there and some cool rhythms going in. Uh but then
I
this was the
felt
most guilty with the ripcord out of it. Oh,
I felt I was feeling shades of Vegas, the Vegas golden age in it. I felt like they were on the verge of greatness with it, but like you were saying earlier, they they just crapped the bed on it.
they didn't stick with it. I don't know. It's so weird. Like the ideas were there. Yeah, listen, F Zappa is always welcome. I reached out to him. I don't think this format is his jam, which I respect. I think he does a little bit different, but if he ever wants to join us, I would love to hear what he thinks of this stuff. Sorry, I'm paying too
No,
close
that's all
attention to the
right.
chats.
Thank you,
Yeah, there were
shipwreck.
a lot of really solid ideas this night, Golden Age and everything.
Uh,
They just didn't stick to it. They didn't land
uh,
it, right?
And I would take Farmhouse in this set if I didn't also have a Caspian and a Waiting in the Velvet Sea and a Rise come together on top of it.
Right.
You know, pick
It was a
one.
little weak to put all those in the same set together. I mean, they gave you a nice piper in the middle to kind of like make you feel better about it, but I don't know. I don't like the way they got into Farmhouse either. Out of that golden age that didn't fully deliver and
And
left
the
you wanting
vocals were
more.
off. You got to nail the vocals on Farmhouse if it's going to be worth playing Farmhouse.
Yeah. I feel like you need to hit a massive climax, like a penultimate climax, like not the end of the show climax, but like the next biggest one. Pause for a second, go right into the vocals of Farmhouse, nailed, locked in, play with a little extra pep and get right out of it. And then that is how you execute it and make it work in a set. If you limp into it and you don't hit your vocals, it's never going to work. It's always going to drain
You're
the
going to
shit out of
limp
your
back
set.
out of it.
Right, exactly. Maybe this is where you can pinpoint the second set kind of being like meh.
The show did go downhill from here, and we'll get well.
Well,
It
did
had
you like
it
that
had a
Piper?
few
I
up
thought the
points.
Piper was pretty
Yeah,
cool. I
it
dug the
was, but it was
Piper.
short. It was so short, and the Piper without this.
It
I
was
know
12
that we
minutes.
right, but I know we harp on this, but
Harp
I
away,
get
my friend.
I just miss the long Piper, the slow build, that intro to it that just went on, like the Bowie intro when they used to do with the drums. They
Yeah.
play 3, 4, 5 minutes of that, and it was so fantastic because it was almost like, are they sure what they're doing? And it was also, wow, this is really inventive way to put a jam into a song.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I would love that. I think we have to set that aside though and say within a modern Piper or a modern Bowie and look at it in that context. Because sure, every single time I would take the longer, drawn out, slow build, but that seems to be gone. And I don't know. I'm kind of like tired of talking about it. Right? I will listen, I'll
Yeah.
tell you what. If they play a slow build Piper, I will be the first one to come on here and talk about it for hours. But until they
Right.
do, I think we'll just set it aside and you
Right.
know, I don't know. I dug the Piper. I thought it was maybe it was just in the context of the set. compared to everything else. But I thought it was a glimmer in an otherwise murky set.
Right. And now I tell you what, Prince Caspian, I would have absolutely loved Prince Caspian out of Piper if Farmhouse hadn't have come before Piper.
Yeah.
I'm a
Do
huge
you like Prince
Caspian
Caspian
fan.
in general?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. I love that it's based on a story that I remember from a kid, and when you're seeing it live and they're like with stumps instead of feet, it's one of those throw your arms up in the air moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
agree.
good.
Live, this is definitely a song that live it works for me way better than, on like headphones or couch tour or whatever. Um it always does live give me a little bit of goosebumps. And it hits that whatever. But listening to the recording, this one in particular was like it didn't quite do that, right?
Right.
Yeah, Fucker Pants did not quite get there for us on this one. Better than Weeding.
Right, but yet then I'm saying then they're like, all right, let's down another notch.
Right? It's like the FM DJ's like, all right, guys, that was a heater of a Caspian. We're gonna bring things down. Slow it down. You're like, what the fuck?
Let's bring on Paige McConnell with Waiting in the Velvet Sea.
And then they're like, listen, everybody, we know you got your heart rate up with that waiting. Now we're gonna do Rise Come Together. Come on, guys. All right, you know what? Ryan might have had a point. This might not be the best show. But still, even with all this nonsense, I still enjoyed it. It was unique.
Should Trey just call it Come Together, drop the rise / part, and everybody knows it isn't the Beatles song at this point?
Yes, 100%. That's the dumbest name of a song ever. Rise Come Together, and it's not even Rise Come Together. It's Rise / Come Together.
I think Rise Come Together. I think Pulsating with Love and Light.
So I do a lot of parenthetical writing because I'm ADHD. You know what I mean? Like I always add secondary or tertiary thoughts into my writing because I can't decide. That's the kind of title I would come up with because I would be undecided between the two, and I'd be like, "Fuck it, we're putting a slash." I do slashes and ors constantly in my writing, like not like I'm not like an author, but like in my emails and shit. But for a song title for fucking PHiSH, it's just so odd to have that there. Yeah, I don't love that song. I feel like this is a safe space. I feel like I could just be honest. I'm not a huge fan of that song.
Look, Brian, I'm not saying Come Together is a bad song title. We're saying that Trey putting the slash and being non-committal to what the song was called is the issue.
Yeah. I'm saying Rise Come Together with the slash is a bad title. If it was just Come Together, I think it'd be great. And there have been plenty of songs that are the same name with different bands, and it doesn't really confuse anybody.
Christopher, how it works is what you'll see in a few minutes is we just run a random generator on FishNet and let FishNet pick the show. So we might like poop the bed sometimes with the show that ends up getting picked.
Yeah, listen, and I think we should maintain that for a couple of reasons. It takes all the homework and planning away from us, which is awesome because I'm lazy and busy. So that's awesome. Also, it gives us an opportunity to listen to forgotten songs or shows, right? Because like everybody, and not that it's a problem. Like I enjoy a lot of those other content creators and shit, but they do the same shows and they all talk about the same tours, and that's great. We want to do something different. We want to just let the jam gods steer the ship and go with the flow.
There they go. And they steered us to a great Antelope in this show. I was quite happy with Antelope closing the set. I'm always a fan. You know that. It's it might be my top PHiSH song. It vacillates between that and two others, but this one was on point and I loved it.
Yeah, I did too. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to take away from your fun Antelope.
I mean, and if you were there and you had sat through the Caspian and the Velvet Sea and the Rise Come Together, Antelope would have been like finding water in a desert.
Yeah. my understanding about this run was that the night before and the night after were really fire shows. So this probably, if I were there, would have been a perfectly content night of enjoying nature, being out at the gorge, taking in the views, and I imagine the weather was probably pretty nice. And like every show doesn't need to be a barn burner, right? It's okay to just go out and have a good time and like a standard show.
And it was the middle show, so you throw down your tarp and just check it out.
Do not throw out a tarp or throw down a tarp. Come on, none of that shit. I love Bug. You skipped it. Was that
I skipped
against
it.
Bug in general or just this Bug?
I just didn't want to hear Bug again. It's not one of my favorite tunes. I don't feel like it belongs anywhere. I don't feel like it's ever found a home. That it's much better as a Trey solo acoustic song.
Okay. I disagree with you, but that's just a taste and a preference thing. It's not something worth arguing. Right? Like I like it. That's
It
all.
was one of the pairs too. I thought the pair thing was cheesy. Mountains in the mist, snowflake in the sand, and then there was Bug and Windora Bug, and then there was
Yeah,
two others that
Hershey
Trey wrote.
2000.
Yeah, back in '99 or whatever. And I don't know. Maybe I'm jaded from back then that I was like, new Trey song.
Yeah, this is some leftover residual jaded vet from the Farmhouse days. Turn of the century, I could feel that.
Turn of the century. That sounds so horrible. God.
No, it's
And it was
100.
almost a quarter of a century ago that it was the turn of the century.
And it's still lingering. Those feelings are still lingering. Like only noobs like Bug.
I need to get over it. So Tweezer Reprise, it's the best 3 minutes in rock and roll. Good for them.
Yeah.
I'll take it any day of the week. Yeah, kept
All
Fish in the 80s, actually. Barely, but I'm hitting 34 years this December.
Proud of you, man.
And we will be doing that show that week.
Will we?
Yeah, 12/7/89. Didn't we say we're going to do everybody's first show?
Yeah, I guess.
And we'll do Llamas even though he won't come on. We'll do Llamas without him.
Llama's first show wasn't that long ago, I don't think.
I know. It'll be a new one.
Yeah.
No, it was not the Bayou came to play. It was the 8x10. But then I saw 5 of the 6 at the Bayou. I missed the first Bayou show and saw the other 5 that they did there.
Yeah.
Closest I ever saw to PHiSH on my birthday. They played the 19th in 91, February 19th, and did Whole Lot of Love. It was Fishman's birthday.
You want to pick the next show?
Yeah, it's your turn to pick a number.
All right. Well, it's also my, I'm the one driving the ship, so you got to be patient with me, guys. Jesus, like, come on, man. I'm gonna go with 3. I think 3 feels good. 1. Oh, that would have been pretty fucking stellar. God damn it. 2.
Oh.
That would have been fun. Probably shitty recording though. 3.
The front night.
Wait, was there 2 fronts?
Yes, 2 fronts in a row. Look at that set list. Oh my. This is going to be fun.
See, this is a lost show. This is a show that I don't think anyone.
Hey, look! It's the Roll Like the Cantaloupe show. I have a T-shirt that says "Roll Like a Cantaloupe." I'm gonna have to dig that up for next week. And an A train. Look at that. That's a beauty. And a Tila Encore. Oh my!
Man who stepped in the yesterday
Winner.
Lizards. I'm gonna
Good
be
job there, Wook.
feeling this.
Loving it. All right, take a screenshot because someone's going to ask us in like 10 minutes and we're going to be like, I don't know.
Instantly forget. Yeah, my memory is shot. All right, I got it.
All right, so tomorrow night, 9:00, we have a special guest. And Sunday will be around 10 in the morning. That's our week usually.
Yeah. And if Goose has any more announcements, we'll probably do more Goose microdoses
And the PHiSH after show. Hey,
coming up
I
from Mexico.
we got a question for you guys. Leave in the comments because I know we're going to close down the live chat. Would you want to see us do after Goose after shows?
Yes.
Let us know in the comments.
I
Love
think
you
we do
guys.
it, but we don't commit to everyone. We just randomly decide as we want. I'm digging it, man. I thought that audition was sick. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably get sick of it after a couple.
Carter.